you had mentioned tech companies, and that's the real pathway to billion-dollar valuations. But a lot of companies, black companies, are not tech companies, right? So you mentioned like cosmetic industry and food industry, stuff like that.
Mhm.
How many companies are you seeing on the tech side as opposed to the other side, just even available to invest in? And wh- how would you encourage people to actually even start to think about the tech company? Because I feel like most of the companies that we're starting are on a lines of those cosmetic companies,
Yeah, you took
food
my question.
companies. Good. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that, but
Yeah.
Mhm.
from a scalability standpoint, they're not going to be Microsoft. So that's a problem. But it also comes from a certain having a certain level of education to even know. Like when you kind of know what you're familiar with. We're familiar
Mhm.
with food. We're familiar with hair. We're familiar with makeup. So that would make sense why we would start those type of companies. We traditionally have not been familiar with multi-level tech, high level tech, and different
Database
type of
solutions.
industries,
Yeah, SaaS
cybersecurity,
companies.
yeah, stuff like
Mhm.
that. So talk about that because I think that's part of the problem too. We're starting businesses that are
Mhm.
not scalable on a extremely large level.
No, Rashad, you brought up a good point. So, two things here. At our firm, we're 50% CPG, consumer packaged goods, and we are 50% tech. So that's why you heard some names. In CPG, we lean heavy food and beverage, heavy beauty and wellness. So some names, excuse me, you're going to hear on that side. But on the other side, we are 50% tech, like Goal Setter, Capway. But people also have to start thinking of their company as a tech company. And what type of tech can you infuse in your product company? And then therefore it becomes a tech company and not just a CPG company. So a lot of our CPG companies do have a tech component. So you can have the product business. I'm trying to think of this one girl. She's not in a company we invested in, but she had like hosiery and it was nude. But she had like this whole thing with AI where you put your hand up and it matches your skin tone.
Mm.
So she had, yes, artificial intelligence, and she had it was all pretty much her IP on it. It was tech they built out. So she owned it in addition to selling hosiery.
For those who are maybe in a black in the tech space, what subsectors of tech should they look to build in that will allow them to get funding? Because I know social media is super crowded. I think the AI wave has kind of been over exaggerated a little bit. What do you think are some spaces that we should gravitate to for the next 4 or 5 years if we're looking to build there?
When you look at the future of work, health tech, I would say, is very heavy as far as 4 to 5 years. There's even this thing where people are building superhumans. Have y'all heard about that?
I think they had one at a football game the other day. They had one
Are
sitting
you
at the.
serious?
It was just sitting there. Yeah, it was the company that is trying to create them had one sitting at the LA Rams game.
Oh, that's scary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it is scary. But either way, that the health tech space, that's one. Anything dealing with the future of work. That's why AI got so big because you
Yeah.
saw that GPT, you saw that anything doing the future of work and productivity is big, but health tech is very, very big. Health tech, ag tech. Everybody's looking at Africa right now.
Yeah. They want
So
to. Yeah.
yeah, so agriculture tech, and then and I get there often. I'm a queen in Cote d'Ivoire, so I get there like back and forth. And I just started checking out the startup scene, and I was like, oh my gosh, y'all are onto something. So I issued 3 grants over there to make sure I'm keeping track of what is going. But ag tech opportunities in Africa, I would say Egypt, Nigeria, South Africa, Ghana, Cote d'Ivoire has a scene. Who else has a scene over there? But ag tech and health tech, because those are two things that are always going to be necessities in our life: health and natural resources as far as food.
Yep.
So health tech and ag tech. Let me think of what else.
Cybersecurity, maybe.
That's always and that's always good money.
Yeah.
That's always, and that's always good money.
Well,
I would
that's
say,
a good list.
Yeah, we
It's a
can
good
take
yeah,
it.
list.
I would definitely say those. And I know
Yeah.
my sister is watching. She is like a huge fan. She's addicted to y'all show.
Yeah, I
Hey,
appreciate
Queen,
it.
how you doing?
You just made me.
Shout
You
out
just
Ashley. Shout out Erica. Yeah, I
Shout out
know
Ashley and Erica.
yeah. While you were speaking, I was thinking from the international investment standpoint. Is that something not for this fund, but is that something that you dabble in as well?
Yeah, for fund two, we're actually allocated 20% for international. And we've already had an investment in Australia and 2 in Canada. But Africa,
So
yeah, I got to get a scout for Africa because they're prime. Like it's awesome right now.